video, we are going to discuss about static and dynamic stretches for spin bowlers. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the new video of the series of strength and conditioning for spin bowling. In our previous videos, we discussed about multiple exercises during the pre-season, in-season and off-season. So today we are going to discuss more about the static and dynamic stretches. There are multiple ways of stretching different muscles. Today we are not going to discuss about how to do the stretching or what technique to opt for while doing a stretching, but I'll be majorly focusing about the mandatory structures which are to be considered while formulating a stretching program for a spin bowler. In our previous video of common injuries, we saw that the shoulder injury is the most common injury among the spin bowlers. The major reason for that is the repetitive external and internal rotation during the ball release phase. To fix that issue and to prevent our spin bowler from injury, we have formulated some mandatory structures which we have to be concerned about, and that is the posterior capsule. Because whenever the spin bowler is in this movement, that is upper arm horizontal position, the posterior structures are in the shortened position and the anterior structures are in the stretch weakness. So we need to first consider opening up the posterior capsule, and for that we have two basic stretches, that is the cross body stretch and the sleeper stretch. The first stretch is the cross body stretch, where we take and the athlete flexes his arm at 90-degree flexion and with the other arm gives a good force in the adduction direction, giving a good amount of stretch on the posterior capsule of the glenohumeral joint. So this is one stretch known as the cross body stretch. Next stretch is the sleeper stretch, where in this particular stretch, the athlete lies down on the floor in the supine lying position with the arm abducted to the 90 degrees and slowly asks the athlete to push the arm downwards. As you can see here, the restricted range of motion. As this motion gets restricted, the shoulder joint pops up anteriorly. Make a note that the athlete maintains the shoulder joint in contact with the ground and achieves the complete range of motion. So these were the two main stretches for the posterior capsule. Next structure which we have to consider for the flexibility protocol is the hip flexor. Because majority of the times our spin bowlers have the tight hip flexors, which results into the anterior pelvic tilt, and thus they are unable to maintain the neutral curvature of the spine. So the hip flexor stretch can be done in the lunge position, where the athlete pushes his body anteriorly in order to get a good stretch on the hip flexors in his rear leg. Once this hip flexor comes back to its normal physiological limit, it helps in improving the hip mobility, and thus the hip becomes more stronger to overcome the pivoting forces during the spin bowling movement. Next structure we are going to focus in our flexibility program is the thoracic spine as well as the lumbar spine. So we are going to work on the rotational capacity of the spine, and thus we are going to elongate the paraspinal muscles around the vertebral column. So the stretch we are going to give to our athlete is known as thread and needle stretch. The athlete begins in a quadruped position and taking one arm greasing the ground and then extending it into as tall position as possible. Make a point while doing this, the pelvis should be maintained in a neutral position, and thus the range of motion must depend upon the pelvic stability of the athlete. Note that while performing this movement, there should not be a pelvic dip. If there is a pelvic dip or a pelvic tilt while doing thread and needle position, then you have to decrease the range of motion of this thread and needle position for your athlete. Along with the stretches, you have to also focus on the regular routine, that is stretches for the hamstring, stretches for the quadriceps, calf muscle, as well as to your pectoralis major muscles and so on. If you have liked this video, then definitely make an effort to hit a bell icon, because we are going to start with the fast bowler strength and conditioning series, where we are going to discuss about all the aspects of strength and conditioning specific to the fast bowling movement. Let me know if you have any suggestions or queries. Do comment below. If you have any questions about any particular injury, we'll definitely try to make an upcoming video on that particular topic. Till then, stay safe, take care and bye.